Donald Trump said he expected the ceasefire to last forever. Then both sides violated it. Iran broke the truce first, and then Israel hit back. Trump found out about it right before he left for Holland, and he wasn't even this mad after he got shot.
When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
On Air Force One, he dialed Netanyahu and barked at him. Sources say Trump was really angry, told him to knock it off. Unlike Biden, when Trump says don't, people listen. And the ceasefire's held since then. Iran's at its weakest point since the 80s, and Israel just cleaned out their whole neighborhood, and they should probably take the win. The question is, does Israel disobey Trump and assassinate the Ayatollah? Does he get couped, or does he remain in power?
Do you want to see regime change in Iran?
No. If there was, there was. But no, I don't want it. I'd like to see everything calm down as quickly as possible. Regime change takes chaos. And ideally, we don't want to see so much chaos.
Iran's being strangled by sanctions. Their currency's out of control, and they're running out of missiles. Trump says the solution is to stop trading rockets and trade products.
They're not going to have enrichment, and they're not going to have a nuclear weapon, and they know that. They're going to get on to being a great trading nation. You know, they're very good traders, and they're going to be a great trading nation, and they have a lot of oil. They're going to do well. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
So did they promise?
The last thing on Iran's mind right now is nuclear weapons.
So far, Operation Midnight Hammer's delivered. No casualties, no escalation, and a ceasefire. But Obama's CIA director, who was knee-deep in the Russia hoax, says Trump blew it.
I think the credibility of this administration really has been shattered. I mean, I don't think it was ever strong, but it has been shattered over the past several weeks. The U.S. intelligence community, by all accounts, still assesses that Iran has not restarted their nuclear weapons program, which they suspended in 2003.
How would he know? He doesn't even have a clearance anymore. If Iran's nuclear program's peaceful, why'd they hide it in a mountain? CNN says the bunker busters we dropped didn't work.
The Defense Intelligence Agency has assessed that the core components of Iran's nuclear program are largely intact, and that Iran's nuclear program has essentially only been set back by months.
Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says this CNN story was written by the same reporter who wrote the very first fake news story claiming the Hunter Biden laptop was disinformation. Now, I don't know who Trump's madder at, Iran and Israel or CNN and MSNBC.
That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job, but when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished, and I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people.
The International Atomic Energy Agency is saying CNN doesn't know what the heck they're talking about. They're saying our bunker busters actually caused more damage than was actually first thought. The IAEA chief says the strikes were so accurate, the site's probably contaminated and overflowing with hazardous chemicals.
How far back do you believe Iran's nuclear weapons program has been set by these strikes? Is it months? Is it years?
Well, I think the nuclear program, the Iranian nuclear program, has been set back significantly.
The Pentagon said the sites were obliterated. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff called it extreme destruction and devastation. And Trump's chief negotiator says this.
Well, it goes without saying that leaking that type of information, whatever side it comes out on, is outrageous. It's treasonous. So it ought to be investigated, and whoever did it, whoever's responsible for it, should be held accountable. There's no doubt that it breached the canopy. There's no doubt that it was well within reach of the depth that these bunker buster bombs go to, and there's no doubt that it was obliterated. So the reporting out there that in some ways suggests that we did not achieve the objective is just completely preposterous.
Even Obama's CIA director said the American operation set the Iranian nuclear program back years.
There's no question that there has been very, very significant damage done to all of the known nuclear sites within Iran. And I suspect that this has indeed set the program back much, much more than many months. But the bomb damage assessment process does need to be complete to validate that. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs, I think, was correct when he said there was severe damage, no question about that.
All right, so you're certain it set the program back several years. It does, to your point.
I'm confident that it did.
So we're dropping 30,000-pound bombs on our enemy, and the only ones saying we didn't make a dent are Iran and CNN. CNN's just parroting enemy propaganda. They're saying the people who chant death to America are mostly peaceful.
I remember, Dan, at one point being in Tehran years ago, and they're chanting death to America all around me, even as I say, oh, I'm an American reporting for CNN, and they were happy to speak to me. So that those two is sort of jarring realities of the chant, and yet the friendliness have existed together.
So they're telling us Iran was never close to nukes. Then they tell us Trump never hit the target, and now they're saying terrorists are good people. These are the same people that believed everything the Biden White House told them. The president's in great shape, the border's secure, no inflation. They believed it all. But when Trump bombs Iran and everyone says the damage was devastating, CNN says, I'm going to believe the terrorists who chant death to America. The Israelis have been bombing the hell out of Iran for 12 straight days, hitting every target they wanted. Nuclear, industrial, oil, command and control. Every top general's dead. Every nuclear scientist is dead. All 3 nuclear sites were hit with tomahawks and bunker busters. And they're sitting in a pile of rubble. The country's broke. The supreme leader is in hiding. Hasn't been heard from for days. And CNN saying our bombs didn't work. And Iran's still this close to a nuke? Because they heard it from an anonymous leaker at the Pentagon? It's funny how CNN had all these great sources all of a sudden, but for 4 years, not a single source leaked that Biden was falling asleep in his soup. Even Biden's national security guys say mission accomplished.
This is about the best place we can be. I give extremely high marks to this national security team and President Trump for managing this crisis.
Trump on Air Force One, feeling pretty good. At one point, he's scolding Netanyahu, and then he's telling Putin, you're next.
As you know, Vladimir called me up. He said, can I help you with Iran? I said, no, I don't need help with Iran. I need help with you. And I hope we're going to be getting a deal done with Russia. It's a shame.
Basking in the glow of a bold bombing campaign and a ceasefire, Trump arrived in the Netherlands to great news. Our NATO allies are finally paying their fair share.
For decades, the United States sought to get Europe to truly step up. Now, European allies and Canada will equalize their defense spending with the United States. So let me salute President Trump's long-standing leadership in calling for NATO to increase defense spending. Mr. President, dear Donald, that is thanks to you pushing us.
Whether it's real bombs or F-bombs, we're seeing results. Our allies are listening to us, and our enemies are scared of us. The president's heading into July 4th weekend with political clout, peace, a hot stock market, and low energy prices. As Buck Sexton said last night, the trend is our friend. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.